rising. This is my ascension into the clouds.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. We're going to be doing another lyrical analysis video. This time we're going to be doing the song Rising. Now this is the title track from my album. It's exactly the same name, Rising, Rising. I like to do, for my albums, for the two that I've done, I like to do like a hype kind of song, and that's what this one is. Just like the Rebirth from the first one, from my first album, The Rebirth, this one is Rising, named after the album Rising. It's kind of a song that'll not really set the tone for the album, but definitely hit you hard and hit you heavy, get you amped up about listening to the music, and you know, it's a hype song. So there's going to be a lot of like I guess bullshitting is the best way to put it. Just talking nonsense and talking trash and all that stuff, but still getting that feeling. Also, an interesting thing about a lot of my verses, specifically this one and the Rebirth, similarities, is the verses are super long-winded. As you can see, I know that this is a different format than probably what I wrote it down, or the number of lines obviously isn't equal to the number of bars in the song. But they are very long-winded verses, that's for sure. They're both, you know, in equal length, probably 24, 28, maybe even 32 lines apiece. Probably 24s, I think. I can't remember. But yeah, it's just a hype song, just something to hit you hard, get you drawn into the album, and then hopefully drag you into the next song. But let's get into it. So it starts off, well, drops the name immediately. Rising, this is my ascension into the clouds. I'm done living down on the ground around our clowns. Here's another take on saying somebody that works all the time, and all they do is, you know, they have a job, they 9 to 5, and then that's basically it. That's basically what this means. It's just saying that I don't want to live this way. I don't want to live just working a 9 to 5 job and just being okay with that lifestyle, you know. Get up, go to work, come home, dinner, go to sleep, and just do it again and again and again. And just over that, you know. And rising, this is my ascension in the clouds, meaning that this is my step up into the next level. You know, I'm stepping up, doing better, bigger things, and reaching more people and doing something bigger. Let's see. I'm above the petty bullshit of living like I'm never found. I've drowned in the sound of bound frowns lying down. This line is obviously, you know, you're living like you're nothing. You're just a life. You're just a person coasting through life, and nobody really sees you. You're just kind of a blur in other people's lives, and you don't really have a lot of meaning. That's basically what that means. I've drowned in the sound of bound frowns lying down. Bound frowns, people who are stuck in their misery, and who like to spread it to other people. Now this is if you watch the first video, this is a throwback, not really to that, but it does deal with the same up and down kind of feeling of the album and a lot of my songs in general. So like this song, really hype, ready to go, and then the next song you could be completely just like distraught and downtrodden and not in the best of moods. But I've drowned in the sound of bound frowns lying down. It's like saying like you've been consumed by all these terrible people who are just miserable. Their frowns, their bound frowns, like they're etched into their faces, and they're just stuck that way permanently, lying down and just giving up. So they're people who are just like basically have just given up on everything, and they're just trying to drag everybody else into the misery with them. And you're just like being over that. I'm making mounds colossal. I'm shaking towns withdrawal. I'm making mounds colossal. I'm shaking towns. This is just about creating the craft, and building up a fan base, and showing it to people and just blowing people's minds and taking it to that level. Withdrawal, yeah, that means you better back the fuck up, because I come 7 deadly, did you want to start something? This is one of those, you know, talking shit type lines. There's not really a whole lot of context behind this, other than the 7 deadly is obviously a throwback to my name, Sin, 7 Deadly Sins. But that's basically it. These aren't too. A lot of the lines in this song, I'm not going to lie, really don't have a lot behind them. And they're things that I wouldn't normally say in songs, to be honest. Calling out, not even like specific people, but just like calling out people in general is not something that I usually do. But in this song, you know, I just wanted to. I like changing up my style, and I do like doing things outside my comfort zone. So there are some lines in here that I wouldn't normally say. But there are hype songs, obviously, that I do have where I do call out generic individuals. But this isn't directed to anybody. This is just kind of like a, you know, I thought it was interesting because I come seven deadly, and I thought that was clever. Let's see. Above and beyond a scrub but a gun. This is just, you know, gloating about how you're better than everybody else, and like you call me a piece of shit or a scrub, but I'm really a gun, and I'll go off and like destroy, you know, you or everything or whatever. Being bigger than you think I am. No love, I'm the one you shove, but I stun. This is basically just, you know, you can try to push me over and think you're better than me, but I'm still going to come back and fight. I'm making funds, you stuck with the dumb, so it's like making money while you're just hanging out with your bullshit dumbass friends. And here's a line that I generally don't include in a lot of my songs. While I come on her tongue is not something that I would usually say, in all honesty. I don't really like using sexual references. I think there may be one more in this song. I can't remember. I could scroll down and find out. But I don't usually like to include sexual references in my songs. I just don't like the way they sound, and they sound really out of place. I needed words that rhymed, and I wanted to do something outside my comfort zone. I wanted to say something that I normally wouldn't say, so I did stick this in here. And it goes along with the rhyme scheme pretty well, but it is out of the ordinary, in all honesty. No luck when I spun my wicked web on the sun. This is just talking about, you know, consuming everything, being the main driving force of, you know, yourself and taking over all facets of music or whatever. You know, being the top of the best of the best. The rhyme scheme here is fun too. So you've got above, a scrub, a gun, no love. The one, sort of a rhyme. You shove, stun, funds, stuck, dumb, come, tongue, luck. And usually when I start a line, because you'll see, like, because I come seven deadly, did you want to start something? The beat will drop, and then that's when I'll start like a new rhyme scheme. You know what I mean? So it'll start out with like above and beyond, a scrub but a gun, no love I'm the one, you shove but I stun, I'm making funds, you stuck with the dumb, while I come on her tongue, no luck when I spun, my wicked web on the sun. So it's starting off with this above and beyond, and then just carrying that through the bars. And I really like doing that. It's definitely really fun to do, and a lot of people I think describe it as putting a puzzle together when you have certain syllables or sounds that you want to put together, and that's really how it is. You know what I mean? You have an idea, and then it's or like a da 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 da, and then it's filling in those sounds with certain words and it making sense and rhyming all at the same time. And I really like doing that. You'll see this. This is a theme that pops up a lot in a lot of my music. It's now that I'm noticing it. I'm definitely noticing it more recently. Is these small sections of like a lot of rhyming, and then like normal lines, and then a lot of rhyming. So it's fun. Let's see. This is the epitome. Get rid of me never, and what you see is awfully clever. These are pretty straightforward lines, just about being the best. And a hard ass, not getting rid of me. You see that I'm, clever, better, because what it be is basically an analogy for life. If you fall the fuck down, you better weather the strife. This is these two lines talk about my first and second album. The first album is called Rebirth. I went through a lot of, we had artistic differences. I was working with a guy who's actually featured on this album. We're all on good terms now, but at the time, we had a lot of artistic differences, especially about the direction of our music and the ideas about the beats and lyrics and stuff like that. So we had a name for the album. I renamed it after I rewrote a bunch of songs to The Rebirth, because it was, my rebirth from this group that we had going on. And then now Rising, it's like taking a step out, or, being reborn and then taking another step out, and now you're coming out into your own. If you fall the fuck down, you better weather the strife. So it's like, if somebody kicks your ass, then you better first off handle it, and then two, be able to come back from it and, move on and do better than what you were. Because ain't nobody gonna help you get back up. So you got to maintain and get your stack up. Again, just doing it yourself, focusing on, your own person, making money, and maintaining who you are, no matter what. Ain't nobody ever going to give you a hand, so I suggest you raise a middle finger and not give a damn. Same theme, fuck everybody else, you got to do it yourself. Yes, these people all suck, I agree, but when they're all my peons, then I'll be free. Oh, this was an interesting line, especially the word peons, because I wanted a word that rhymes with agree and free, but I couldn't think of anything else, and after I fumbled around with it for a little bit, the word peons just kind of stuck to me, and I was like, well, I'm going to go with that, because it's like, everybody else is a peasant, or like, way below me. So it's like, look, you can tell me that my music is terrible and all this stuff, but eventually you're going to be at my feet and it's going to be all good. And you're just going to be that dude who's like, coming asking for an autograph, who 3 years ago would have been like, screw you, dude, you can't do anything. Just give up. You know what I mean? Let's see. Bow before their leader like they're all in a trance as my lyrics flow through them and they're stuck in my hand. Again, using music as a way to not control people, but like using music to get them to understand either my point of view, and then have them, I don't want to say control because that sounds wrong, but they've submitted to me in a oh my god, I don't know how to describe this without sounding like an asshole. Anyways, we're just gonna have to skip this because I can't describe it without sounding like an asshole. But that's what it is, just talking shit, I guess. That's the best way to put it. Just talking shit, being like, look, I'm a boss ass around when I get to where I need to get to, and you're going to be the scrub and not me. So that's the best way to put it. Let's see. Up to the pinnacle, forever cynical me. Some try to baffle, but they can't fool thee, one who will raffle all things, just to get a little bit of the real cheese. So this is obviously being the best. God, that's what all this song is about, it seems like, man. It's just like me talking shit about being, up here, like on another level from everybody else. But, I guess that was the idea at the time. Forever cynical me, it's about still being cynical and still being, hating everything even though you're best. Some try to baffle, but they can't fool thee, one who will raffle all things, just to get a little bit of the real cheese. So it's like people try to come at you and they try to confuse you and throw you off path and, sway you from your mindset. But it's about, obviously you're not going to do that because I've got my focus and I don't put up with that nonsense, and it's just like straight line, get to where I need to go. And raffling all things. Raffling, I guess one who will raffle all things isn't the best way to put that, but it's kind of like saying you're willing to just chance everything. I guess gamble would have been a better word. But raffle rhymes better with baffle than gamble does. And it's kind of like you're and also like raffling is almost like you're selling bits of things to the highest bidder, to whoever's willing to like throw in the most money. So it's like having a price for yourself, sort of, but still being able to maintain who you are, to get somewhere where there's a lot of like money, or life is good, the real cheese, cheddar, money. That's what that's about. Steel knees, skill please. It just rolls off the tongue. Steel knees is about not being able to bend or break. So your knees they're solid and they're strong, and you're not going to waver, and they don't shake or anything like that. Skill please. It just rolls off the tongue. It's a natural ability. That's pretty straightforward too. It's it's not practice. It's just like I have this innate ability to rap my ass off. If you can't get the flow, you're obviously done. So come back and try again when you got another dime. Too bad it'll be a scraper by my very next line. These are just like saying, come back and try again. Look, if you think you're gonna come to me with your hardcore raps and try to be a hard ass, and it's just like, no, get the fuck out of my face. I don't really care. But you can definitely try again when you got another dime, like another, what you call like a 10 out of 10 rap, or a 10 out of 10 whatever bullshit you're bringing to the table, but it's really like a 0.1 10 cents, like not 10 out of 10. That's fine. You can come try again, but it's probably not going to make any difference. Too bad I'll be a skyscraper by my very next line. This and the first line of the chorus actually go together. By the next line I spit, I'll be on a completely other level. So whatever you think is going to be the best and you think we're equal now, you better bring your, S game next time. And then we drop into the chorus, which goes along with this first line. Rise up, I'm rising. Bow down, you're declining. Sky's not my binding. I like this line. I do like this line. Sky's not my binding. It's like saying, the sky's the limit. Well, it's not, because there's an infinite more higher plane above that. You can just keep going and keep going and keep going. So you're not bound by that, artificial ceiling or limit. A skyward flyer, higher climber, ire. This was the hardest part. This line and this line were the hardest parts of the chorus to write. A guy I was working with named Ransom, he's in a couple of the songs. He came up with I was having a really hard time writing this chorus, and he came up with the rise up, I'm rising. He came up with that, and I was like, that's really good. And he was like, yeah, I don't really know what else to do with it though. But there's like the base point, take it and see what you can come up with. So I did, and I sat down and I was writing, and the bow down, you're declining, sky's not my binding, and then I wanted something like super heavy to rhyme, just like a lot. I wanted every word to almost rhyme with the next sentence, so it came out with a skyward flyer, higher climber, ire. Obviously, a skyward flyer, you're heading up and you're moving up, as fast as possible, and you're achieving greatness, I guess. But it's always about going up, rising, going up, taking it to another level. Higher climber, ire, eyeing, or eyeing a higher plane or a higher. You're like, look, I gotta go up. It's all about going up. Right? As many times as I can say that. So you wanna climb higher. You wanna achieve and get to another level and the next level. And then into the second half of the chorus, I seek peak for keeps to breach each peep's beats. This is about getting to the top, seeking the peak, the reason that you get to the top, for keeps, for eternity or all time or whatever, or, to make it mine, to breach each peep's beats, so it's about getting to the top and maintaining yourself at the top to influence everybody else, so that you're the guy that everybody looks at and they're just like, that dude. I want to rap like that dude. I want to be that guy and make music like he makes music. I don't want to do it like this guy, him. And it's influencing, and it's getting that influence on everybody else, below you or coming up or whoever. Whoever's looking to you for influence. That's what that's about. I seek peak for keeps to breach each peep's beats. Having that influence over everybody. All right, and now we move into the second and final verse. Let's see here. I make it a point to make me some noise. I come with a voice, and I gotta get the coins for my poi son. Obviously, making a point to make it a noise. It's pretty straightforward. Doing whatever you can to get people to follow you or listen to you or play your music, or even just getting loud at like shows. I come with a voice, obviously, because I can talk, and I got to get the coins from my poison, or my poison. Getting money, coins for my poison. Poison meaning like you infect people with your music. Not so much that they get sick of it, but that it infects them, and then they enjoy it. Maybe it's a good poison, I guess. Royce none, choice one, destroy them for some sure sums of some more funds. Now here's, just like up here, at this last no luck, dumb, love, shove, stun, funds part, this is what I'm talking about. Like I lead with a sound, sun, poise, sun. Actually, most of this rhymes with poison, but poison. So you have poison, Royce none, choice one, destroy them, for some sure sums of some more funds. So you have that really like heavy, deep rhyme scheme that goes for the entire bar or whatever it is, to fill that out. These lyrics, Royce none, obviously Rolls Royce. This is a reference to Rolls Royce and not having one and being poor. Choice one, there's only one option, and that's to destroy them and beat the competition out, for some sure sums of some more funds. And by beating them out, getting paid, making money, and living life and having all the things. Ain't nobody satisfied with a little bit. That's why I'm always on the beat, ripping shit, killing it. Not being satisfied, obviously, and always making music and always doing it the hardest and to the peak of your ability, to get where you want to go. Filling it with the fury of a mind on iller shit, make a milli, fill me to the ceiling, I'm so different. This is about being angry. Not so much being angry, but filling it with filling your music with whatever it is inside your head. For me, obviously, it was iller shit, or well, that's what I wrote. Being a hard ass and making good music, like true shit, like real music. Make a milli, fill me, making money, make a milli, whatever, a million. Fill me to the ceiling, I'm so different. Fill me to the ceiling is like filling you. It is like saying feeling somebody to like the peak, like 100%, like at the maximum. You know what I mean? So it's like your whole room is filled with you. Does that make sense? I feel like that doesn't make sense, but it does in my head. So like feeling somebody to the ceiling, like you're feeling them like 100%, like you're like, yes, I understand exactly what you mean. I know exactly how you feel. I got you, man. I got you. I'm so different. Being different. All right. Can't nobody get on my level. Sit back and watch and then revel. So there you go. Again, about being, is that spelled incorrectly? Revel. I feel like that's spelled incorrectly. Anyways, can nobody ever get on my level? So it's like saying, oh God, so much of the song is just about being better than everybody else. That's basically it. I could have just said, yeah, the song's about being better than everybody else. On to the next song. GG. Anyways, sit back and watch and then revel. So when you see what's going to happen, you're going to be like, holy shit, this guy's amazing. I need to praise him now. We always advance, never stop, no settle. Popping off my top like a kettle. This has nothing to do with me taking off my shirt, but it does have to do with me projecting my voice. Popping off at the mouth, popping off my top rhymes. Sounds better than mouth. Never stop. Top. We always advance, never stop, not stopping, not giving up, and not backing down. As I proceed to get what I need, I see the please help me's, and I think about when that was me. This is an interesting line. This is about, people asking for handouts and people wanting things to just come to them without having to go out there and chase it. And I remember, when I was sitting back waiting just for shit to happen to me. And you always have to, there are those people who just sit down there and they're just like, why doesn't anything good ever happen to me? Why does life treat other people so well and not me? And it just, seems to skip right by me. And it's terrible. Because you have to go out and you have to go get it. You have to. You can't just sit around and wait for it to come to you. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately. Hell, if it did, I wouldn't be making this video right now. Or, shit, I would have stopped recording music a long time ago. Or hell, I probably wouldn't have even picked it up. I'll just graduate and here's a $10 million check. Have fun. It'd be nice. Anyways, but ain't no never will I descend from my peak, because I'm out of their reach. I'm higher than Cheech, like I was huffing bleach in the nosebleed seats. This is all pretty standard, you know, just being way up there and nobody can catch you because you're way up there. I'm higher than Cheech, like I was huffing bleach in the nosebleed seats. I don't really use a lot of similes. I'm not going to lie. Just in these last two songs that we've gone over, I don't use a lot of similes. I don't really like using similes, maybe because I'm not good at thinking of them, but I definitely prefer, you know, not rearranging words, but using different words that say the same thing, but have this interesting, like, rhyme to them. That's what I like doing. Anyways, this is just about, you know, huffing bleach in the nosebleed seats, being as high as you can possibly get, and being untouchable. And then this is literally asking the listener, did you get it? Probably not. You know, maybe this just went over your head, a little over you, reread it, and then it gave no clues. So it's like you can reread it a million times, but you still have no idea, like, what the hell's happening, because it's just blowing your mind as to who I am, but I don't think that really matters. Wrap your mind around this asylum, I paint the walls brain splatter. This is about saying, you know, I could put all this nonsense into my music, and you can reread it a dozen times, and you still aren't going to know who exactly I am, because I'm either, like, so fluid, or I'm constantly changing my style. So if you think you've got me pinned down, I'm not pinned down. I can instantly change into anything else, and it's just, you know, being fluid and being like water, I guess. Wrap your mind around this asylum, I paint the walls brain splatter. So it's like saying, if you try to pay attention, like, if you listen to my music, it's just going to blow your mind. The walls are just going to be covered in your brains because your mind got blown. Swing better. These last lines, honestly, I'm not too sure where these came from or why these last lines are weird. I'm not gonna lie. These three lines right here, these are really strange lines because they kind of came out of nowhere, and I don't remember why I wrote them down, but I really liked the way they sounded. I paint the walls brain splatter, swing batter. Oops, not supposed to say sing. There is no hitting of women in my music. Anyways, I paint the walls brain splatter, swing batter. This one's about, you know, this. You can try and it's not going to work. I sing at her, she brings rings and clings, and I'm like, no, madam, I no fathom what you're babbling on about. Besides, it's hard to hear anything when you're spaced out. So it's like having women come up to you because you're like this hard ass and this badass, and then they're just like, look, you're amazing, just marry me, I'm attractive, and that's all you really need, right? And it's just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Quit your nonsense, like, get the fuck out of here, I don't need that shit. Besides, it's hard to hear anything when you're spaced out. Like, when you hit that level and you hit that pinnacle, like, they'll come to you and it's just be like, nah, I'm good. Why don't you just go away? I've got other things to do. This right here, Babylon, this is a reference, this is a really subtle reference, like, nobody would get this. Actually heard, the first time I heard this Babylon was, Chris Calico said it in one of his songs. I can't remember what song it was, but he says something like, Babylon faster than half of you rappers, I spit like a javelin, or something like that. And that's where I got that from. I was like, oh shit, that's clever. I'm gonna put that in there. Nobody's gonna get that because it's not really a reference. It's just the same word. But that's where I got that from. Babylon. But yeah, that's Rising. That's pretty straightforward. You know, the song's really just about being a hard ass, just being a badass, not dealing with anybody's bullshit. People coming to you with their nonsense, and you're just like, nah, I'm good. Like, get the fuck out of here. You are nowhere near on my level. Trust me. Don't even try it. But yeah, that's Rising. It's the hard-ass song, the title track for my album. If you did like this one, there will be another video up soon. If you haven't heard this song, there will be a link down in the description to this song, which is also on my YouTube. Yeah, and I will see you guys on the next video.
Rise up.